We're on day 21 of our 60-day healing journey to establish inner union. We're working to stop the self-abandonment, to be able to trust who we are and the different aspects of who we are, to love ourselves wholly and fully, and to call our power back. The affirmation for today is, I am safe to feel and remain present. I am safe to feel and remain present. So this is saying that I no longer numb myself to my feelings. I allow myself to be present and allow my feelings to flow. I trust that I can feel without losing myself in my feelings. I allow myself to embrace and be present in how I feel right now. That's our affirmation. I am safe to feel and remain present. How often have you numbed yourself from feeling because you just didn't want to deal with it? It probably was so intense that you didn't allow yourself to feel. You just pressed it down and just numbed yourself and silenced yourself so that you wouldn't be able to feel. Were you around people or are you around people where you cannot express yourself wholly or let your feelings flow wholly because you don't want it to, have an effect on the situation that you're in? How often are you not allowing yourself to truly feel? Because the healing is in the feeling. The healing is in the feeling. Whether you do that when you're alone or with someone else, but the healing is in the feeling. Because if the feeling is trying to come up, it's trying to signal you and tell you something about yourself. It's trying to get you to make whatever necessary changes that you need to make, trying to show you some things and maybe redirect you to where you need to go. But if you numb yourself from that feeling, how can you actually get the right guidance? So our emotions play a big impact, an important part of our life, so that we're able to understand ourselves wholly. But when we suppress ourselves and don't allow ourselves to feel, then we can't get the right information that we need to get. That, like I said, that emotion is like information. It's trying to tell you something about yourself. I remember back in the day when I did therapy and I was in a relationship, and I remember telling the therapist at that time, I told her, I said, I don't want to lose myself in this situation. And so because I don't want to lose myself in this situation, I feel like if I continue to if I continue or express myself, or if I let myself stay in a situation, I'm going to lose myself in the situation. And I remember her saying to me, how can you lose yourself in this situation? How can you lose yourself? And when we kept on talking back and forth, I realized that I couldn't ever really lose myself. But I also realized that me not allowing myself to fully feel was me keeping myself stuck in a situation that wasn't necessarily better for me. I had already outgrown the situation. But me not letting myself feel kept me stuck. So that's how I was losing myself, because I wasn't being in my whole, I wasn't being in my, who I totally am, because I wouldn't let myself feel all the way. I was suppressing my feelings. And it was when I started to allow those feelings to flow, to let myself feel exactly how I felt in that situation, like whether it's positive or negative. When I let myself start to feel, it redirected me and it allowed me to move in the path that I needed to move in. So I couldn't lose myself by feeling. It's like I was suppressing who I was by not letting myself feel. And I just remember her asking me that, and that's when I realized, I'm just not letting myself feel. That's the reason why I'm stuck here. So see what happens when you don't, sometimes when you don't let yourself feel and you start to numb yourself, thinking that you're making it easier to get through a situation. It can sometimes keep you stuck in a situation that you don't necessarily want to be in. Like, you really can't lose yourself. But if you don't allow yourself to do what it needs to do, if you don't use yourself, then that's how you lose yourself. And using yourself is letting your feelings do what the feelings need to do. So that was a long-winded story, but I was trying to show you, like, you really have to allow yourself to remain present and feel. Because what will happen if you allow your feelings to actually flow? What is the thing about it is what happens when you don't let your feelings flow. Those feelings that you're not allowing to flow will cause complications of some sort. It stops your momentum. It could create health issues. You know, you're not fully expressing yourself when you're not feeling. So therefore, you're not being authentic and not attracting the most authentic situations to you. You're essentially attracting something that is connected to the version of you that is holding back and not allowing your feelings to flow. So being not staying stuck in your feelings where you just letting your feelings get the best of you, but you're connecting your dots when you allow yourself to feel. You're actually letting yourself go through a process because it's leading somewhere. The somatic practice is do a body scan. So we're going to do another body scan today, and you will sit quietly or lay quietly and just breathe and allow yourself to feel different parts of your body, starting from the feet, going to your head. Allow yourself to feel each body part, and if there's any tension that lies in that area, then go ahead and release that area. So we're going to do a body scan. We're going to look for tension. We're going to look for emotions that might be hidden in the body somewhere. Any different feeling that you get. And if you don't understand the feeling when you feel it, those sensation, then sit for a moment and just let yourself analyze what that is and get understanding. The visualization is emotions settling naturally. So imagine yourself releasing your emotions and letting them settle naturally. You let yourself go through the emotional state and let it just come back down. You know, when I said that just now, I just thought about a volcano where people get so angry that it's like they have an eruption that takes place. Allow yourself releasing that. And then when that happens, you just settle back into who you are. That's probably emotions that sat there for a pretty long time, and you tried to suppress it, and then all of a sudden it erupted just like a volcano because it needs to come up. So just think about that when you start to suppress your emotions, what impact that's having on your body. Are those emotions bubbling up to the top and trying to get out, causing different problems in your body because you won't allow your emotions to flow? The journal prompt is, what has softened this week? What has softened this week? Were you tense about some things or angry, frustrated? Have you seen a change? Anything settle or soften this week? Were you upset that something didn't work the way you wanted to work, and now you just decided to just let it go? You just decided to let yourself just release? Have you been feeling restless, and now you decided to just let yourself be? Sometimes we just have to let ourselves be. We get so caught up in the wanting to go all the time, just wanting to constantly stay on the move, that when it's time to settle down, your body doesn't even know how to settle down. And so you go through this constant battle in your mind, like, I should get up, I need to lay down. I need to get up, I need to lay down. I got something to do, I just need to rest. How about just let yourself be and let yourself settle softly? Just allow yourself to relax and do what your body wants to do. Because your body may be saying, I really need rest, but your mind is trying to tell your body something different. So it's time to listen. The practice for today is rest without guilt. So see, whenever you get to that feeling, because that's what that is, that back and forth, push and pull, I need to rest, I need to go, I need to rest. Let yourself rest, because once you get your rest, you might be more effective, more efficient in the things that you need to get done because you actually took the time to rest. Rest is essential, and we try to fight that a lot of times and not get rest because a lot of times we've been labeling resting as being lazy. But no, you need to rest. Your body needs to rest, and you have to allow yourself to rest. So that's the practice. The holistic tip is gentle silence or nature sounds. If you're able to put on a frequency or some nature or gentle music as you go to sleep, you may even have a better night's sleep from having those relaxing sounds in the background. So that's our holistic tip for today. I hope everyone is well. I hope you're doing what it takes to keep you centered and balanced. I hope we are able to get those breathing exercises in every day to love on ourselves even more. Love yourself like you want somebody else to love you. Love on yourself like you want somebody else to love you. So that's our things. That's the practices for today. I will see you tomorrow. Peace and love. Mwah.